Episode 77B, The Nature of the Links of Consciousness.
Good evening, I am Tomas Guevara, and this is the channel Rewriting the Reality.
First, my apologies for keeping you for a week without any episode. I experienced technical difficulties that I finally resolved, and you will see it in the quality of the second part of episode 77.
Subscribe to this channel so you can expand your divinity.
I want to express to you that as we may be creating some element physically within another dimension or an alternate reality, this is not to say that this shall be the only area within consciousness where it may be expressed and created.
You may be creating a very similar reality within this particular dimension.
As you express these thought processes verbally, you also lend energy to their physical creation within this dimension. This is not to say that you may not be creating any element physically within this dimension without verbalizing your intention and desire in this area, but you acquire much more energy as you do verbalize these thought processes, for you begin the probabilities into an actual physical manifestation, for the very language that you express within creates a physical response, and physical elements are being created.
Let me offer you an example.
First of all, as you verbally express, there is a different interaction within the interaction of time than the expression of a thought process. Now, let me offer you an example in visual terms that you may understand. Within consciousness, visualize your thoughts as mere waves within your air.
They are within the time framework within your physical focus.
Therefore, time is affecting them and they are affecting time to an extent, but they are as airwaves that may be to your viewing invisible and floating within your air, as your air may be the expression of the time element itself. Now, introducing into thin air, you may view the expression of verbalization as a chemical reaction within your air. In this, you may look to the reaction within the air as a sort of condensation to which certain molecules may be collecting together, as you are instructing the links of consciousness to come together to form an actual solid object, in a very similar manner to molecules forming together to form water droplets that may become rain or mist. There becomes a thickness of these molecules that you may physically view. Apart from each other, you may not necessarily view the actual physical form of water. Within our air, as the molecules are farther spread from each other, you may feel the effect of what you term to be humidity, but you do not see within your air the actual droplets of water. In like manner, thought processes are in existence within your physical consciousness within physical dimensions, but they are not necessarily acquiring physical form and thickness within your dimension, for they have not been directed in this manner. The links of consciousness are not being directed to be moving together to form an actual solid object or form. In the expression verbally within your language, you lend more energy to the creation of solidity within your time element. You create physical interaction with your time framework and the energy expressed by your desire and your thought process. Therefore, the impulses of your thoughts move into physical interaction with your time framework, and this creates a new direction with the links of consciousness, moving those links of consciousness, which are the thought processes, into more of a thickness. In this, it is quite similar to the action of the humidity within your air, that you feel but you do not see, moving into a collectiveness of the molecules coming together and bonding themselves into actual water droplets, becoming an actual physical form that you may in actuality view physically and you may touch, and this interacts with all of your physical senses, for it now holds an element of solidity.
This is the action of our time element upon the creation of instruction of links of consciousness to be moving together to form a physical mass.
So, the intention of our thought processes will make a difference regarding the links of consciousness, and how they will form, and they could be so instructed by our intention that they would produce a physical object.
Because our intention and our intent are affecting what we are creating within physical mass. It is also very affecting in what we are creating in other expressions, but within the creation of physical matter, this is quite influential.
There are situations in which we may be expressing a want to create a certain physical element within matter, and we may hold a thought process in this direction, and we may also express verbally in this direction that we wish to be creating a certain physical element, but if this element is not in agreement and harmony with our intent within our physical focus, we may not be actualizing it into this particular physical area of consciousness, meaning the actual materialization of this physical matter. We shall be materializing this element within an alternate or parallel dimension because we have created the line of probabilities and therefore have actualized the probabilities. We may be creating actual physical mass within an alternate reality, but this is not to say that we may always be physically creating of every element that we want to be creating within this particular physical focus if it is not in alignment with our intent. Now, I may also express to you that we may be experimenting with many different creations within physical focus that may not entirely be in alignment with our intent within this physical focus, and we may be successful in creating physical matter, but the quality of that physical object shall be different from the quality of the object that we may want to be creating, for it is not following within alignment to our intent. Therefore, in this, our intent and our intention are different words expressing different definitions, but in these two words within our language, if our intent and our intention within creating any physical object are in alignment and harmony, then we shall be creating our physical desire, which is also different from a want, and this shall be expressed physically within our dimension. Our intent is our overall direction, so to speak, within the lines of probabilities that we create within any given physical focus, or within any focus of essence, physical or non-physical. The intent is the direction of probabilities in the potential of its creation. It is the direction of our desire within any particular focus of essence. Our intention is more immediate. Our intention moves more in the direction of our physically focused wants. Therefore, our intention is the momentary movement in any given situation, and our ideas and our feelings regarding any of these given areas are affecting the creation of our probabilities, but they are different from our intent. Our intent is the overall direction of our desire within a given focus. Within this particular focus, we move in the direction of our desire to be lending energy to this shift in consciousness, and in this, lending energy in a manner of paving, so to speak, a direction in areas of our scientific movements, in combining the thought processes of the concentration of physical exploration, incorporating into this the exploration of consciousness. For as I have expressed previously, future, as this shift in consciousness moves more fully into its expression and its completion, so to speak, there shall be movements in the area of our sciences that move more fully into the direction of what we view to be our science fictions presently, and in this, there needs be an incorporation of consciousness into our sciences, for our sciences are limited in their direction of accomplishment if they are not incorporating the element of consciousness. They may only move so far, so to speak, in a physical direction without incorporating the element of consciousness. We have moved through our physical focus in the direction of lending energy to this incorporation of the physical and the non-physical aspects of consciousness and merging these together, and as we continue within our particular experimentation, we may not necessarily be the singular individual that is penetrating the veil between these two aspects of consciousness, but we are being quite instrumental in our movement and lending of energy to this breakthrough, so to speak, within the areas of our sciences. Our sciences have moved into the position of becoming our new, more powerful religion, for individuals look to our sciences as their new God and for their directions within physical focus. Therefore, these sciences hold great power and great abilities in manipulating much of our objective reality, but they have not yet moved into the area of incorporating all of reality and all that is available to them, for they are not incorporating the massive element of consciousness and all of the windows that may be opened for the expansion of their creativity in their incorporation of consciousness and the investigation of links of consciousness and different elements of our physical reality. There is much of the physical reality that continues to elude us, for we continue to look merely in physical terms and not incorporate all that is available to us as to the aspects of consciousness that are also a very intricate element of all of our physical reality, but we lend energy in this direction within our experimentations and our desire. Therefore, we are moving efficiently in the area of our intent. This is the reason that I am encouraging all of your movements in your experimentations, for they are quite in alignment with our intent and our intention, and may be in actuality physically expressed within this particular physical dimension, for we are offering ourselves the ability to manipulate consciousness and express direction to these links of consciousness to be lending energy to our experimentation, and directing this through our physical time element to materialize that of our desire.
Within our intention, within our physical focus.
These links of consciousness do hold the ability to interpret our intent and our intention, and they also are moving together in what we term within our language to be a certain type of gestalt. Now we must understand that the links of consciousness do not hold thought processes as we hold thought processes.
An actual thought process is a combination of links of consciousness.
Therefore, they do not hold a thought process but form a thought. We are attempting to be interactive or connecting with a link of consciousness within our psyche, so to speak, or within an event of our creation, be it within meditation or an altered state, so to speak, or a dream state. You may be in actuality offering yourself information of these links of consciousness, but I express to you that the connecting with these links of consciousness to be understanding of them within our objective understanding would be requiring that you allow yourself to be letting go of all that you know and understand within your objective awareness, for they do not fit within our objective understanding. Therefore, they are entirely unfamiliar to us. These links of consciousness do dream, but even within the expression of the word dream, the action that they are accomplishing in this dream state is quite different from our understanding of a dream state, for the translation is very different.
We translate dream imagery and activity into objective terms.
Links of consciousness do not necessarily translate at all. They are translating directions as they are connecting with us, with our intent and our intentions, but they are not connecting with us with our thoughts. They are connecting with our energy impulses, and they are communicating with each other through impulses, which I have expressed to you previously. Impulses are not thoughts and are also not emotions or feelings. They are different. In this would be the mode of communication that is expressed between links of consciousness. They interpret the impulses of energy that we project, and in this, they form together to create our thought process of our actual thoughts. This is the reason that I say that thoughts are reality. They are not merely elusive elements that we may not attach any significance to. They are actual forms. They are a reality, for they are an accumulation of links of consciousness that form together in responsiveness to the impulses that we are projecting to be directing them, in like manner to the molecules forming together to create a water droplet. This is quite a creative process, and quite intricate, that we have developed within this particular physical dimension. Other physical dimensions create some similar interactions, but this is not to say that all physical dimensions are created by the same process, so to speak. Other dimensions do not necessarily express the intricacies of this particular dimension, and in this, we have created an availability within this dimension for tremendous usage of consciousness to be introduced into our physical dimension and introduced into actual physical matter. We may be manipulating energy quite efficiently within this particular dimension, with many aspects of creativity at our disposal. This is the reason for our shift in consciousness, to be opening a new door to our own aspects of creativity within physical focus.
Time does not interact with the interpretation.
It is the links of consciousness that are interactive in the area of interpretation, but they are interactive with the element of time to create certain physical elements. Time has an infinite set of facets, more or less a facet concerning every focus that is within this regional area one dimension, for it is interactive with perception, and our perception is influenced by our belief systems. Therefore, each individual holds different perceptions, and their interaction with the element of time is also slightly different. Although you generally, in a manner of speaking, may be experiencing what we think of as the same experience of time in a linear fashion, in actuality, each of us experiences a slightly different aspect or expression of the element of time, for it is quite interactive with our perceptions. We may be following the same linear calendar, and we may be setting our clocks and creating certain rotations and orbiting to create days and months and seasons, but our moment-to-moment linear perception of time varies slightly with each individual, and our interpretation of time may be quite different from one individual to another individual. We also hold the ability to manipulate the element of time and to experiment with the element of time, dependent upon our awareness and our allowance to be open to the exploration of this particular element.
Let me express to you that all of these realities are occurring simultaneously. Our attention may blink from one to another, but as it blinks, the one that you have blinked out of does not discontinue or disappear or move to another. The links of consciousness are infinite. Therefore, different links of consciousness create different realities. They are not necessarily moving from one reality to another. Now, do not misunderstand. This is not to say that links of consciousness do not hold the ability to move from one dimension to another, for they do, just as physical elements within our physical dimension hold the ability to move from one dimension into another and return to their original dimension, so to speak. But in the situation of blinking in and out, we are simultaneously occupying different areas of consciousness, different dimensions, and interacting within all these dimensions. It is merely a question of the direction of our attention, but we are not necessarily entirely moving from one dimension to another, leaving one dimension, so to speak, and entering another. Within the action of transition in physical focus, what we call Alzheimer's, watch episode 16, some individuals have allowed themselves an awareness of experiencing two different realities, or experiencing these experiences simultaneously and holding objective awareness of both in what we may term to be equal proportion, at the same intervals. This is an offering of the experience of the simultaneousness of time, and in objective expressions, the awareness that these experiences are occurring in conjunction with each other and within different areas but simultaneously, not that we move from one to another and discontinue the one that you have moved from, but that we continue within both. Our attention within our objective awareness merely is not allowing us to hold the awareness of the interaction of both experiences simultaneously, for we focus our attention singularly. We are now moving into areas of our experiences to allow us to view more than one experience simultaneously and hold an objective awareness of these experiences. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel.